Welcome to a very special episode of Momster Movies. This is probably what I'm going to put up as episode 4.5 because we literally just got back from seeing the new It in theaters. So by the time this video is online, you probably should have seen it because it's going to be a while. I don't know, probably a couple weeks late. That's fine. But we did just see it. Today was the third day the movie was opened.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Your mom hates you.
Yeah. His mom was not happy. We sat next to each other. The whole family went, yes. But we couldn't all get seats together, which is fine. But Mom sat next to me.
I wore this sweater because I knew. And so I spent, like, from the opening scene to the end of the movie.
Whole movie.
Like this.
It was like that, pretty much.
Or this was good for me for a while.
Yeah.
I liked that. And this.
Mm-hmm. It was like that at one point. Yeah.
You know, but we've had some requests. You have to film your mom's reaction. Well, there's nothing to see because I'm just huddled in my sweater the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, even you only jumped once, even during this movie, but
I was still behind my sweater.
Yeah.
I didn't see a lot of it.
You saw enough. There were a couple times where something would happen and I heard you, like, saying whatever obscenities. But, so, like, I just mean, like, I know you at least saw it because you were able to be into it. You didn't like every time he showed his teeth.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
I didn't think it was like that.
Zach watched the movie like this.
Yeah, I did. That's how I watch it. We had the nice reclining seats and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I punched him. No reaction. Tried to squeeze his hand off. Didn't hurt.
No.
There's no amount of suffering I can inflict on you
to
pay
mirror
you back.
your own.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
But what were you expecting going into? Because you only watched one preview, so.
What was I expecting?
I mean, like, I know aside from expecting to be scared, I mean, you watched we watched the old one.
Right.
So I guess a better question is, how do you think this one compares to the old one?
To the TV one?
Yeah, the one
there's just no question that this is far and away the worst movie I've ever seen.
We should also note this is the first real, like, intentionally scary modern horror movie because last episode we watched Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, which is more modern, but it has that comedy background to it. So this was, like, really intense, scary, really modern, really well done.
Yeah. Really hated it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't understand how being scared is fun. I physically, even when the scary movie started, and I physically cannot keep my eyes open. I can't do it. I have to hide.
Yeah.
And there were a couple times when it was between the music and the action and the screaming and the teeth, and I had to close my eyes and, like, go to a happy place, go to a happy place, go to a happy place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I just, like, don't.
Doesn't faze you.
I don't get that. I just think it's a cool thing. Like, I don't see the point of not the point, but, like, it doesn't affect me in that way where, like, I just have a very strong disconnect between, like, what I'm watching and reality. Like, it doesn't scare me because I'm just like, this is just a movie. Like, these are just people acting. And that's how, I come to pay attention to the details. I mean, we were talking about it on the way to dinner afterwards, and you were like, you're just sitting there analyzing the movie, and I am. Like, there were a lot of little details, like, anytime Pennywise gets injured, his blood floats up. Or even the very, like, the opening shot where the camera just, like, curls, and you're in the tunnel.
Yeah.
and then the whole thing just curls out into like the little river, whatever.
Yeah.
I just thought that was a cool shot. You know, it was just a nice, an interesting shot. I loved.
I'm sorry. Excuse me. I just had a post dinner burp. I'm very sorry. I hope you didn't hear it.
It's been done in like other horror movies, but I always love when they like paint a room red with either light or blood or whatever. So the bathroom scene with
Bev my gosh
was just, it's awesome.
Oh my gosh.
I love when that kind of stuff happens because I think it gives such a specific mood to like the scene and everything. Very like terrifying, like everything is red, everything is bad.
Right. Yes.
I love it.
I do admire that you are such a student of these films. I do think that's impressive. And I know that I missed a lot because I was watching it behind the sweater.
Yeah.
I missed a lot of the little nuances and things like that.
Did you see when the first time they're all down in the sewers?
By the way, that's the next horror film, Behind the Sweater.
Yeah, Behind the Sweater. The first time they're all down in the sewers and it's like Henry Bauer's friend. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, he looks creepily like the guy from Girls played Darth.
Oh, Adam Driver.
Yeah, creepily like Adam Driver.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
But when he gets separated after he runs into the zombies, and then he sees the balloon floating toward him, did you see when the balloon turned around and said "I Heart Dairy" on it?
I did see "I Heart Dairy."
I just thought, like, and that's just a detail that I thought was funny.
I did see that. Yes.
So, but on the other side of everything, what did you think of the movie from like a writing standpoint or how it was shot? You know, because that's the kind of stuff that I really like to look for.
I thought I was going to be okay because I was going to be like, well, okay, every time you hear a scary movie, you know, you gotta. And even the music scared me.
Yeah.
So from that standpoint, like there was very little places in the movie where I felt like I could breathe. But I'm not a horror.
Right.
This was my first time. I thought that the young people who did the kids, their acting was like I bought it all.
Yeah, it's excellent.
Yes, I bought it all.
Excellent writing, excellent acting.
Yes.
And you know, you said you didn't have time to breathe, but there were a number of times where you laughed at the jokes.
Sure.
So I think that's like it's just like in that situation you're able to still appreciate the humor despite the overall tone of the movie.
Right.
And I think that's a really cool
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, that's an aspect that I feel like is a little bit more prominent in horror movies sometimes, and I think it kind of, at least I started recognizing it in Marvel movies because the tone would be whatever, but then they would put jokes in at the most hardcore action sequences.
Right.
And I think in that sense, it really achieves that same like tone where the whole movie is very scary and very terrifying, but anytime the losers are together, the writing is amazing and the jokes are hilarious.
Yes, I agree. I had a thought, and my thought is that you do definitely get a sense of the bond that they have. Mm-hmm. And I did catch that when Eddie breaks his arm and the mean girl decides she's going to sign it for him, she writes loser, but he changes it to lover.
Yeah.
And I thought that was sweet. I will never be able to look at another Modigliani painting the same way, and I'm a little mad about that, because here you have this graceful, figurative painter who, takes the human face and makes it so elegant, and now it's a creepy clown persona, and that makes me mad.
That was eating Stanley's face.
That's my big question. Okay, here's the thing. Here's what it is. I understand that Pennywise takes on what everybody is afraid of.
Right.
I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that he's embodying their fear. And they say, you're not real and I'm not afraid of you and all that, but how do they get physically hurt? If
he's still a physical being.
No, how? What?
He's still a monster they have to defeat. It's just like the overall metaphor of the whole thing is overcoming your fears.
But if you don't believe in Pennywise,
it doesn't mean he can't hurt you.
How does he eat Stan's face?
It's the same thing as like, Freddy Krueger coming at you in your dreams. Like you can't stop him in your dreams or whatever. If you know about him, then
okay.
It's all about belief and all that kind of stuff. They believe he's real, but they're also brave enough to face him.
I did like that all of the adults in the film, especially the parents, were a little grotesque, a little creepy, sweaty, greasy, almost exaggerated. And I kept expecting one of them to become Pennywise.
Yeah, but I think, we kind of talked about it in conjunction with the previous movie. When, like, that old guy sees, I think either Bev or Mike, like, being assaulted, and just kind of doesn't do anything.
Right.
And they talk about how, like, the whole town is it.
Right.
And it's kind of like, the adults just sort of turn a blind eye because they don't want to believe or they don't want to face what's happening or they don't do anything. And so, in a sense, like they're all Pennywise, but again, it's more of the metaphor of Pennywise where like they aren't actually Pennywise.
Right.
It's just they're too afraid. They live with their fear instead of overcoming it. They just allow themselves to not do anything.
The relationship between Bev and her dad was a little bit more revealing in this movie, I think.
And I think it's more revealing probably even in the book, like even more so revealing.
Right.
I read an article a couple days ago about how they left out a big scene. Well, that's not a big scene. The article kind of explained that like the movie is sort of, or the book is sort of always defined by this scene, but really there's no reason for it to be. But like, long story short, after they defeat Pennywise in the sewers, they can't remember how to get out. And this is when they're kids. Mm-hmm. They can't remember how to get out, and to bring the group like closer together, Bev has sex with all of the boys, and it like, and then they remember how to get out after that. And that's in the book. Now, they talked about how they were going to include that scene, and then they talked about they storyboarded it even to like Bev just like taking each boy's face in her hands and like bonding with them. And they eventually just cut the whole thing out, which I think is fine. Like but that's something that they were saying was like, you don't need that in there to tell the story right.
Right. That surprises me, yeah.
And King has said himself, again, same article, they talk about, there's a quote from King, and he's like, that scene hasn't aged well. Like, I wrote it because one of the themes in the book is, he says, you don't remember your childhood. Mm-hmm. Your childhood is sort of built on and around like things people tell you or the memories that other people have with you, and you kind of like build that up. So, and then the other themes in the book are all about adulthood and remembering your childhood and all that kind of stuff. And so at the time of writing it, that scene between Bev and all the boys was representative of tying their childhood to their adulthood and making their bond strong and like making their memories together strong so that they could come back and defeat it again. But I think there's a lot in the 1990s version. There's more in the 2017 version.
Sure.
There's probably even more in the book.
Yes.
But
and I do love that of all of them, Bill is the leader, but Bev's the hero.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean,
because the only thing that she is afraid of is her father.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she conquers him in real life and in Pennywise.
Yeah. Is quite good.
Mm-hmm.
Quite a good movie.
Not as scary as Zach wanted it to be.
It really wasn't.
No.
I mean, like, if we're talking opinions here, yeah, I was anticipating being a little bit more scared. I mean, I was anticipating a jump scare from time to time, and
I was so looking forward to being there for you, my son.
Right, and then you didn't have to be.
No, I didn't have to be.
I know.
No, you don't need me anymore.
But that's just a minor disappointment. It's nothing to shy away from, or nothing to detract from how good the movie actually was. I'm sure I will be seeing it in theaters again.
Okay. I'm not going?
No,
right?
you don't have to go. You saw it once.
Yeah.
And this is our video about it.
Right.
So, next week, though...
Hashtag, movies are better when watched through a sweater.
Yeah. Next week, or next episode, I guess I should say. I keep forgetting we do bi-weekly releases. One of these days, it'll be next week, and that'll be true. Mm-hmm. Next episode, we're actually going to keep with the modern horror just for now, and we're going to watch The Strangers. Because I just met 2 of the actors from The Strangers, and they are very much looking forward to what you think of it.
Oh, they are not.
I'm
that's just silly.
Friends with one of them on Facebook now, and he's going to watch it, so...
That guy?
Yeah, Kip Weeks.
Kip Weeks. Shout out.
Shout out. We're going to shout him out in the other video, too.
Should we?
Yeah, we will.
I feel like shouting would be a good thing for us to do.
Yeah. Kip Weeks! Kip Weeks! So Strangers is up next, and then we were going to dial it back for something cool. Probably some classic. Something classic.
Oh, Singing in the Rain?
Classic horror.
Oh, my God. Listen, we did see The Gauze.
We did.
We saw The Gauze in a preview.
For Blade Runner.
So that, to me, was worth the price of admission
right there. Yeah, got it through the whole movie. And then Channing Tatum in the Kingsman.
Channing Tatum in the Kingsman. Mm-hmm.
So that's what made it easier to get through the movie.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
All right, we will see you next episode for The Strangers. And until then, have a scary day.